Hello, everyone. How's it going? Hope you're having an absolutely beautiful day. I am here, and today I'm going to talk about some of my confessions about being an entrepreneur. Some of the dirty, dark secrets that we're never talking about, things that people don't share that can get us all in a bit of trouble. And I think it's time to start speaking out about it and really having an open and honest conversation about what it's like to be an entrepreneur and how to really make it through some of the struggles that we all seem to have, and be really honest about what happened with me and how at the end of 2015 and in 2016 I almost lost my business, and then how I recovered from it. And so the first thing that I want to share of my confessions is that you will not have consistent income. Plain and simple. We hope that we get to a point where we're going to have consistent income and everything's going to be okay, and we're always going to have things moving in the right direction. In 2016, due to some big mistakes that I made in my business, I went 4 months without bringing in any new income. And that can happen as an entrepreneur. So if you don't take the right steps to build your foundation in the correct way, or if you don't understand that you're going to have ups and downs in your business, because nobody talks about this. We say, oh, I want to make $10,000 a month, 10K, right? That's our goal. But the thing is we don't think about the fact that maybe 1 month we'll make 3K, 1 month you'll make 12K, and you'll have this back and forth. But nobody's talking about the fact that the income is not consistent. And so when I went 4 months without any new income in 2016, it really caused some major challenges for me. So that's confession number one. Confession number two is that all of the wonderful things that we hear about launches, right? We hear, I had a 5K, a 5-figure launch. I had a 6-figure launch. I had all of these things that we hear about that. Well, let me tell you this. It can be a bunch of smoke and mirrors. It can be a bunch of bullshit is what I'm going to tell you, because 90% of those are not profit. If you think about what you have to put in to create a launch that creates 5 or 6 figures, a lot of times the people that are saying, oh, I had a 5-figure launch, I had a 6-figure launch, what the secrets are that they're not telling you behind it is they spent most of that money making that launch happen. So if they made $100,000, ask them how much profit they actually made. Did they make $50,000 in profit? Did they make $20,000 in profit? Did they make $3,000 in profit? I had a launch that went last year. I could say, oh, I made $25,000 in my launch or $100,000 in my launch. But in the end, after every single person that I paid, when I was paying everybody before myself, I actually came out in the negative on my launch. And that was at the beginning of 2016. So that's really something that nobody's talking about. We're all into this world of let me launch something new, let me create this program, let me do these things. But we're not talking about this experience and what is happening. Confession number 3, you will spend more money than you are making at some point in your business to jump to the next level. 95% of all entrepreneurs will never hit the 1,000 a year mark. Why is that? Because they're not putting and investing in themselves in the way that they need to. So who are the 5%? The 5% are the ones that are investing in coaching, building their systems, masterminding. I have spoke to thousands of entrepreneurs in the last few years, and the ones that aren't making any money all have one thing in common. They're not willing to spend the money on themselves to invest. And this is something nobody is talking about either. There are anomalies out there. There are people that make it big without that happen. You can make $100,000 by changing your packages and doing certain things in a certain way. But if you want to scale up to the next level, nobody's talking about the fact that you're going to spend more money at some point than you're making to do that. And I think that's one of the other dirty little secrets that nobody's talking about. Another confession is that you cannot jump from one level of work without doing the level of work that you're already at. I tried to do this, okay? I was in a phase 2 of my business and tried to jump to phase 4. I went from phase 2, skipped over phase 3, and went straight into authority in phase 4. What happened? I ended up hiring a team. I had people that were working for me. I had several websites. I had all sorts of things going on, and I ended up having to get rid of everybody because I had to step back in time. So think about technology. If you want to make 100 grand in your business, you don't have to hire a whole team. You don't have to have a lot of things, but know the level you're at and do the things that are right for your level. Nobody's teaching you that. People are saying, go get Facebook ads, go do your, buy a website, do all these things. Those things are not going to make you money if you have not created your masterpiece message, build a solid foundation, understand who your niche is, and have done the step-by-step things that keep it going. So when you are looking at raising your business, like if you want to make $100,000 this year and you have a $1,500 program, you need 70 clients in a year, right? Which means that's 5 to 6 clients a month. But nobody's telling you that how many people do you need to talk to in a month? That means there's 50 closing the deal conversations in 1 month that you need to get so that you can get 5 to 6 clients a week, because at a 10% closing rate. Nobody's talking about closing rates. They're all just like fluff and mirrors and say, unless you learn how to close, how to create the desire, how to do that, you're having a 10%, a 20% close, then you're never going to make those numbers. You're going to be stuck in that 95% that never make over $100,000. Now, $100,000, maybe you don't need to make that. Maybe you only want to make $30,000 or $50,000. But my clientele that want to be global entrepreneurs, that want to create a global impact, need to make over $100,000 a year just so that they can travel and do the things that they love and impact more lives. So I'm speaking specifically to that audience. Another thing is that when you hit the goals that you've always dreamed of, it's not always what you cracked up to what you think it's going to be. So, and let me tell you this is, when I hit my goals, I tripled my income every year, started hiring a team. I was doing conferences. I had 180 people at my last conference. I've been speaking all over the world, and it's not always what it's cracked up to be, because there's other things that are going on that you can really understand. So you may have these goals of $10,000 a month, and what does that goal really mean to you? Because sometimes it's not always it's not always what you think it can be, because if everything else in your life is falling apart, if your health is not well, if you're stressed out, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not taking time off, if you're working 400 hours a week and you're not taking the care of yourself, then you can hit those goals, and guess what? You're going to still feel the same fucking way that you did when you were making $1,000 a month, when you're making $10,000 a month. So you've got to reevaluate what your goals are for, and nobody's talking about that. And so that's why I talk about creating a global impact. I think it's so important that where I got to a point in my business, I said, okay, great. I'm making money. I'm paying everybody before I'm paying me. I'm leaving nothing over for myself. How can I change that and make it different? That's when I decided that I wanted to create a global impact, and that I made my mission about human trafficking, and I'm adding that into what I believe in and what I talk about. And that when I go to India, I'm working with human trafficking there. And so some of those things. So when I almost lost my business, one of the things that I also found out was that people will wait to be paid if you are generous, kind, and open. So I had a major in June of last year, and I had to literally go through, and I had to email my coaches. I had to email people that I owed money to, my website people. I was in Europe, and I literally had to say, I've had a mistake happen, and I can't pay any of you right now because there's been some really bad things that happened in my company. I fired my COO. I let go of everybody else, and I said, I just can't pay anybody right now. And I went into this mode. But I want to tell you that people are kind and generous, and those people that I went to and said that I was having those issues, they were willing to say, okay, yes, I will wait for you to be paid. I will work with you. I even had one of my website guys who cut my bill in half for me because of that. And you know what? Through all of these things, through the recovery, the one thing that I learned, and the one thing that made a real huge difference that has now brought me to a place where I am having months that are better than I've ever had before when I'm not doing conferences, is that I have gone back to creating a deep impact. I've put my systems back into place. I've hired people and that I know are working for me in the right way, and I am using my voice in a way that is powerful, and I'm sharing it in a completely different way than I've done before. And when you show up with this type of authenticity and really share, it'll make a huge difference. And so what has brought me to a place where I can make that kind of income again, was that total honesty and realizing that I have to put value in these things. And so what is it that you want to reach this year? Do you have a goal? I want you to write below, what is your goal for 2017? Where do you feel stuck? What is the thing that you're trying to get to, that goal or that thing that you think that you can so much that you're having struggling with as an entrepreneur? Is it that you want to reach 100,000? Is it the 10K a month? Is it your first client? Is it speaking a lot on larger stages? Share below, and when you share, I want to know what kind of impact that you want to create and want to make. And then what I'm going to do is from all those people that share, I'm going to choose one person and I'm going to give you a coaching session. I'm going to schedule you into my calendar and I'm going to coach you through whatever is your block, because I am here to give back and pay it forward. And hopefully you listen till the end of this message, because that's the only way you're going to know that somebody is going to get a free coaching session with me. And this is complimentary. I charge $1,000 an hour. So this is not a joke. I'm not here to sell you on anything. I have a full calendar. I want to give back to you. So right below where you feel stuck as an entrepreneur, and I'll choose somebody and give you a free session. Happy day. Talk to you all soon. Love you.